This is What's Cooking with Fanny Boo. It's the boy Chef C with 2 E's and a place to be. And to my left, we got the beautiful
Chef Fanny in-house.
And we are back though with episode 18. And we are definitely excited to deliver this pod to you guys though. So, first off, we want to extend our thank yous, right, to all the likes, shares, comments, etc. that have interacted with the material that we've dropped, right? So we appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts, right?
Yeah,
and we definitely look forward to bringing you guys and delivering you guys more content though, and various other material as well though. So first off, how you doing? Are you looking good though?
Thank you.
Okay.
Just trying to match your fly.
Man, you don't got to do too much though. You already looking good though. You feeling good though. You know what I mean? The skin looks soft though. You feel me? So everything good though.
No, everything's great.
All right, shout out to that though. You got any shout outs or anything? Are you good?
No, not just yet. We'll see if any come to mind though as we go on to
right on.
This episode. Though.
I respect that though. You know what I'm saying? We might have to start adding that though, right? Like as people start, as the people interact, right? We start shouting them out though.
Right.
So, coming soon, right? We're going to jump right into the burning question, right? Obviously, ain't nothing burning around here but the question.
Just the question.
Love that, right? So, it's been this is an ongoing question, right? That can be used forever, right? So, jumping right in, right? How much should you tip?
At the restaurant?
Yeah.
I want to say depends on service, but just as a baseline, I say 20%.
Okay.
So just if just quick, yeah.
So you're going with like a fixed percentage, as opposed to saying, hey, maybe this bill is a little higher, or the service wasn't as satisfactory, or what are some of the factors that kind of weigh into you making that decision when it comes to tipping?
Yeah. I mean, I used to do the performance-based, right? But you kind of just come to the understanding after going through so many experiences and outings, like everybody is going to every dog has their day, right? So it's like, you may catch somebody on an off day and it's like, I don't want to make their day worse by making their tip zero. Like, I mean, I've never been a non-tipper.
That's real.
That's
real,
so, but it's like if you just, it could be more. Like 20 is like halfway, like a starting point. Like you got to be terrible for me to do like less than 20. But I'm saying like 20 is just like automatic, just off top, just 20%, right?
20%.
20%.
Okay.
Not,
easy math, right? You don't have to do too much.
Right. But if it's like exceptional total wow experience, like you might get a little 25, 30.
Okay.
a
5 to 10% increase,
absolutely.
Though, depending on the service. So what you got to be over the top. What do you consider over the top service then?
I mean, like just completely tentative to like every single need. On top of it, the food is great, right?
Right on. Compliment the chef.
Absolutely. If you're out with the kids, they make sure the kids are set up. They take that into consideration.
Right.
All servers don't do that.
That's
right.
Right.
Whatever the situation is, if they accommodate the situation accordingly and go above and beyond and out of their way to do that I note that.
That's facts.
That definitely adds into it, though.
That's facts, though, and I would agree with that wholeheartedly. In terms of tipping, right? It's usually a 20% start rate.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's trash or it wasn't, it didn't require much, right?
Yeah.
I may slide them down to 15%, right? If it was I was just going in there to get some little something, no, it was real quick.
Right.
It didn't require much again, right?
Yeah.
However, usually it's a 20%, 25% if they had, decent communication.
Yeah.
They were, again, like you said, tentative. I don't want to, kind of piggyback off of everything. Usually the criteria is the same for the majority, right? And I would just say, speed is another thing,
Huge,
right? Sometimes they can't control that, but most of the time they can, and they can communicate if they can or can't.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if it's out of their control, say something.
Absolutely. So I would say communication is key. Communication will get you that extra 5 to 10%.
Right. Don't duck and dodge.
Dang facts, though. So, hey, drop in the comments how much you should tip, or how much you usually tip. Or what's the criteria?
What affects your tipping rate?
Yeah, what are the prerequisites for an over and above tip? A tip percentage. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So that was good.
I like that. That actually that was good. Just as that was a good one though.
Yeah, that is.
I think a lot of people in their lives at some point may have worked in service.
Yeah.
Where tipping is, a thing. So, so everyone's kind of can relate and understand, and that affects people differently. They either are a more critical tipper, right? Because of that, or they're just a more generous tipper.
Very true.
So.
And on top of that, right, it always goes back to like the whole debate of like, the service workers, they make less than minimum wage, right? So you want to kind of like balance it out for them.
Yeah.
And while it's not your job, it kind of is, right? At the same time. Yeah. So you want to be fair, and if you have it, you should be able to be generous with the tip.
Yeah.
And help somebody that's doing what they can to try to get by, and they're trying to do the best they can to serve you and make your experience better.
You actually just reminded me. So you just triggered it, right? Piggyback off of how much should you tip? Do you tip if gratuity is included on the check? Do you tip additionally onto that?
I mean, you might as well.
So it's already whatever the cost is, and then they add on the 18% automatic gratuity. Are you tipping on top of that, or is it just okay? That's it.
And that's how some of the little places do it, right? Some of the little high scale places will do you like that? Though they'll include the gratuity. I mean, go ahead and throw a little tip on there, man.
I like that.
Usually,
generous.
Usually if they do it like that, the service is good, and there shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
so,
true, definitely.
And then in some cases, they do like a little pot share. They got to share with the busboy. They split, drop a couple dollars to the chefs,
the bartenders,
everybody.
Yeah.
So you just, at the end of the day, if it was a good vibe, right? If you respect the vibe, do your thing. That's all I say.
Yeah, I like that.
That's all I say in closing.
That's nice. That's nice.
So in terms of just wrapping that up, right, and moving on to some of the hot topics, right? It's been a lot of things going on in the market, though, in the industry. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's an unsettling time right now, though, with the increase in prices, right? The inflation, the consumer uncertainty with some of the higher spending consumers starting to cut back and starting to find more bargain shopping, right? So
definitely.
It's shaking up, though. So what do you got for us on the hot topics today?
All right. So as far as big names, big money, right? Red Lobster announced that they're considering filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Man, that broke my heart, though, man. Cause shout out to Red Lobster, though. They have my man. He was catering to the blacks back in the day. Though we had covered that during Black History Month, though. So, man, Red Lobster going out of business. I heard it was because it was the endless shrimp that took them under.
That contributed to it, and actually, so with the endless shrimp, it used to be only from July to December because those were the slower months, and it did generate more foot traffic.
I gotta boo that, but you can't, man. We pulled up for the endless shrimp, so
they made it a permanent fixture on their menu, so it's no longer seasonal, and they ended up increasing the price. Ooh. So it used to be $20 where you pick two, right? Yeah. And then you can just have bottomless, right? And it's unlimited. Yeah. So now they only raised it by $5, so it's $25 you can expect to pay to get to unlimited shrimp, which still isn't bad if you're if you're going to actually utilize it and go, whatever. But even with that, they still in the fourth quarter of 2023 they lost 12.5 million. Ooh. And in the third quarter they lost 11 million.
Ooh.
So just in that second half, they lost almost 24 mil.
Almost 25 mil.
Yeah. So that's steep though. That's a lot. And not only is it the endless shrimp, but it's also the cost of the leases, which have been going up, right, with the economy, and the new higher rates in labor costs.
Facts.
So all of those things are contributing factors, and all is just that overhead is just way too much.
And they were already closing down locations.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
it
they
was
were.
Already a thing of like, you know, what can they do to kind of tighten up? And it's like, man, that'd be ice cold if they go out off the endless shrimp, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's ice cold, though. Hey, man, you know, hey, the community need to piece together and make sure that Red Lobster don't go out, though, off that endless shrimp. Because plenty of y'all was out there, was sitting down at Red Lobster, though, you get with that endless shrimp, though, and then you know, everybody had a little finesse how they would try to go in there. They would get two, get one, order another one, then say they need a box. Right? So if you play your cards right, you walk out of there with about 4 or 5 different shrimp flavors, though, to go.
Yeah. Depending on how lenient that server is, how high the tip they want.
Yeah. I mean, but most Red Lobsters, they had good service. They were relatively a vibe. You know, you could get some Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
But you know what? I think what might actually save them, even if they don't file the Chapter 11, if they just close a couple stores down, right? Lower traffic stores, they have a lot of grocery store products now, right? So they have
biscuits.
Well, they have the biscuits, right? They have them already made. They got the crab cakes. They got the whole frozen food section. They got their own. You know, they got their own like whole end cap worth of stuff, right?
Okay.
And then they have but the biscuits, they have them pre-made and they have the mix.
Okay.
The batter. So I mean, like there's definitely, you know, that could carry them, right? If they do close in your area, you just go get the little mix and put it together. It's not the same, but
it's just tough though, because in this day and age, right, there's not too many people running down there. You know, I think there's been a sudden surge in like people wanting to focus on fresh foods, right? Because you know, one, health is wealth,
right?
For two, you know, in terms of in terms of preserving your product, right? Product shelf life versus you know, refrigerator life, etc. You don't want to be holding on to the products too long and trying to consume it, though, right? So ultimately, there's been that uptick in those fresh produce, fresh products. So that might have been the problem, though. You know, a lot of people not eating out as much. So you know, this is just Red Lobster. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, right? Actually, I ran across this article and it was saying that while last year's trends were more finger foods like fries, wings, things of that nature, right, and also late night ordering between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. This year's predicted trends and early signs that are trends have been healthier eating. So more, like you said, more produce, more fresh products, more farm to table. You know, a lot of that. I mean, I love to see it. I love to see it though. You know, like you said, health is wealth, right?
Facts.
And if you look at the trends over the past 10 years, a lot of them were typically more on the unhealthy side, right?
Very
and so to see that take a real shift towards the healthier choices, for me, I love it. I just absolutely love it. You know, just as someone who's had, you know, relatives who've made it to older years and relatives who haven't. As someone who's a mother, I want to live long, right? So you know, health is wealth, right? And you are what you eat.
And I think ultimately, right, what you see is you see a big part of the consumer base also wanting to just want to cut back on the spending. Right, the daily expenditure, right? So they're raising the cost on the same, and there is not only are they raising the cost, but they cut down the size of what they giving you. Right, so the packages,
what they say of the shrinkflation, right?
Yeah, the shrinkflation.
It's the inflation and the shrinkflation at the same
more,
time.
It's smaller, right? You might get 2 boxes now. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey man, you just go ahead and make it yourself, or just get you a little fresh product, get you some, you know, knead you up some fresh dough, right? Knead it up, right? Get it going, you know, pop it in the oven, let it rise, and pull it out, right? You know, to each his own, right? But we gotta do, you know, hopefully let off the cool. You know, they lost a lot of ends, though. The shrimp, hopefully the shrimp, was it a shrimp shortage or what happened?
No, it's just, people were coming in and they generated the foot traffic they wanted, but they were taking advantage of that meal, of that option, right? So you get people coming in and they're spending $20 for, 4 or 5 rounds of shrimp plates that are usually $15 to $20 each.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I did notice, way back, they used to use the smaller shrimp. So it's like, okay, that's cheaper, But at the end of the day, it's like, it's still shrimp, it's still seafood. Like, it is what it is, and you can't deny what the cost is.
That's
so,
very true.
it's like if you're selling more food at a bargain, at less of a deal, and now you're negative.
Yeah.
You're negative, and then people are coming in only ordering that. They're not getting the lobster fest, right? They're not getting the appetizers. They're going straight for the endless stuff.
Shrimp though.
Straight for the endless.
The Admiral feast or the lobster feast.
Yeah.
You know,
They got the boils. None of those. None of them though.
Yeah, and I think another determining factor could have been the competition, right?
True.
You can go just about anywhere to get you a shrimp plate.
Yeah.
You can get you some oysters, lobsters, some scallops,
calamari.
So outside of the biscuits, right, which they started being skimpy on though over the years, right? They started making them smaller and started putting less in the little basket.
Six at a time. They don't
Sending them out lighter in the basket though.
Yeah,
and they're a little flatter than they used to be. Like they cut back on the yeast or something. So I don't know what the deal is, but when they when your main products ain't producing no more for you, you gotta abort though. So they should have been a little bit more innovative with the menu. Yeah. And they should have been skimming on the they should have been cutting back on the biscuits and the prices though.
Right. Yeah. So you got a point. You got a few valid points though.
So let us know in the comments though, you know what I mean? If you was Red Lobster fan, if you would like to see Red Lobster stay afloat. Right.
Is it good riddance or what?
Right.
What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? So let us know in the comments.
For sure, in the comments.
And just real quick, while we're on how we talked about that being seasonal, right? I just want to dip in with May coming up. So now we've got everything's warming up, right? So we've got some new produce that's, in season and coming into season that I'm excited for, right?
Okay, take us away. Take us away.
So beginning of the year, it's always the citrus fruits, right? The citrus comes into season.
Okay.
Some of the greens come into season, right? But now that we're getting into the warmer months, we're getting into more of the berries, the peaches, the apples, stuff like that. We're getting into more avocado, asparagus, which is an amazing vegetable to add to your, to your daily intake. It's a diuretic. It's a natural diuretic, and it's very high in fiber, right? So you add that in, you could get a bunch for $1 instead of $4 now. So I love to see that.
Anti-bloated, right? You're right.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even if you're just all asparagus and protein, you'll be solid though.
You see that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's a whole bunch more, but just keep it short and sweet though. For the most part, it's that. I'm very excited for the peaches, the strawberries, the blueberries, the blackberries, raspberries, all the whole berry line. Right?
Looking forward to it.
And then pretty soon we'll be coming up on watermelon season a little later in the summer, right? So, but until then, I just love just the freshness you can add. You get the summer salads, right, with the fruit in there.
This is the stuff that really makes the dish pop. Right?
Yeah, so absolutely. Great desserts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So like I love it. Keep an eye out. You guys get the better rates, right, because they're in season, and you get better flavor food too. So there's that.
True. Very true. Thanks for that, though. You know what I mean? That's some good facts right there. Because at the end of the day, you need to know what's in season and what's not.
Absolutely.
So as you do go stock up on that fresh produce again, right? You got to make sure you're looking for the stuff that's in season, stuff that's not, so you know what to pull and what not.
Absolutely.
So moving right along, right? Just kind of following up what we covered last week, right? In terms of the Lunchable in the school system being too high in sodium and finding traces of lead
and the plastic, right?
So now they've definitely that's raised major red flags. It's got to the USDA, right? So now they're saying that they're definitely cracking down. They're setting the standard on the sugar intake, right?
As they should.
So way too much sugars in the kids' meals, right? Yeah. So we find out there's too much sodium, there's lead, and there's too much sugar. Yeah. Like, man, no wonder the kids coming home,
bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, they up and down. Yeah. They don't know what to do. You feel me, though? So, man, get the kids a little healthier meal again, right? Yeah. Again, who is that on? Get on these school districts, man. Hey, man, make sure you go out and vote, right? Hey, I don't mean to get too political, but make sure you vote your local legislation, though, because that's who's making sure your kids eat right when they go to school. Yeah. You feel me? You know, they're putting apples, bananas, and pears and peaches in there. Yeah, they're putting Pop-Tarts. Snickers bars, Skittles, and the likes.
Little cereals and stuff, little sugary cereals.
Yeah, right? little sweet candy, sweet cereal bars, that kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, like, it's cool every once in a while, but on a day-to-day basis, that's too much. Yeah,
you can't let them, that neglect is just like sabotaging the kids' chance and opportunity to even be able to develop at a decent rate, right? We've got in a world of, we're so active as a society, right? And our kids, like, we're trying to get them out to play more, less video games, right? More outdoors activities. Like, they can't grow and function, at a level that's decent if they're not getting that right nutrition. I mean, when in doubt, if at all possible, you got the time, you got the means, you got the creativity, just make the lunches at home. Yeah. And you don't even have to make it all crazy switch up. Some kids PB&J every day, and they're good with that. They love it. They love it.
It's for the less fortunate, right? Some that can't really afford that, they count on those school systems to send or to take care of the kid at school. Make sure your kid write down some of the stuff that you think they should be eating, right? You can find out what's on the menu and write down what they can and cannot have and make sure that's what's available for them.
Absolutely. That's a great suggestion.
Absolutely.
They have to offer a salad bar at all these schools, right? So they at the very least are able to go get some fruits and veggies, right? So, hey, with that list of what's in season, let them know, hey, these are going to taste the best right now. These are going to have the most nutrition right now. Get you some of these.
Right.
Whatever your option is, make sure you get a nice salad on the side of it.
And that's how you get ahead of it. You don't put it in the hands of nobody else, though. You know what I mean? You got to be intentional out there. So.
Absolutely.
What else we got, though? That was a good one, too.
Yeah, that was. I appreciate you bringing that up.
No doubt.
So as far as a school... food items that we're purchasing, Heinz is joining Mattel, and they're coming with a barbecue sauce. So it's pink, like a hot pink sauce. It's vegan, and what it actually is they're combining their vegan mayo with their barbecue sauce, and they're using that to make the barbecue sauce. And to get the desired color, they're using beetroot extract. So... I don't know how it's going to be taste-wise, but it's already been released in the UK and Spain, and they're looking to expand that release to the US pretty soon.
And I can see why they released it on those markets, right? Because I remember when they used to try to drop the little different kind of stuff when we was kids, right? They used to have the green ketchup, right?
The blue parquet, right?
Stuff though, right? They had the different color jellies and all kind of stuff like that. And I don't know how it fares in the local market, though, because it be here today, gone tomorrow. So I applaud Heinz and Mattel for one, collaborating, two, for trying to be innovative. But the pink isn't really my thing.
The pink's not my thing so much either, right? But a more pressing question is, who mixes mayonnaise with barbecue sauce? Like that's a weird, and beetroot.
And then once you put the beetroot extract, you doing too much.
Yeah, like if you gotta add, do y'all mix barbecue and mayo? Like
drop in the comments if you do, but to each his own.
I'm curious. What do y'all use it on?
I'm not sauce shaming anybody though. You feel
that was a good one.
Do your thing though. If you're mixing the mayo with the barbecue with the hot sauce, you probably going crazy on the low though, but that's just not my speed. But respect to everybody who's running out to get that pink that barbecue sauce. That's clever though. I'll salute them though.
They had teased about a year ago on when X was still Twitter. They had teased the barbecue sauce and then a ketchup So I don't know if they're gonna follow up with that tomato based ketchup, but they for sure have already released that barbecue sauce though. So yeah. But to our international watchers, if you guys have it in your market, have you tried it? How is it? Let us know.
Drop in the comments again. We gonna get it. Make sure y'all drop in the comments though. That's the moral of the story.
Always.
So moving along, right? We had I had just seen online though that there's been some people that's been making 70 to 80K, right? Reselling reservations to exclusive restaurants such as Carbone and a couple other name spots. I don't want to get into
That's
the
crazy.
names, but
That's crazy.
I guess essentially what's happening is they're calling ahead, right? And getting reservations, right? Boom, 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 boom. Maybe a few nights a week.
Yeah.
And then what they're doing is they're somehow they get the list of people that the big wigs that really need that really need to get in, because you know what happened when you can't get the resi up at Carbone.
Saying it's a chill night. You rather stay at home.
You know what I'm saying? So once you call Carbone, now we can't get you in. Then you call my man, right? You call my man.
Oh, I got a guy. I know a guy.
Yeah, everybody knows a guy that knows a guy. That's my man, though. That can get you them seats, though. So you call my man's, right? He gets you on the list.
Yeah.
Boom, you good up in there. Though. You get your little Carbone. You get your little spicy rigatoni. And you get them out of there, though. And that's cool, though. But salute to Mans, though. I don't think it's gonna last long now that it's on blast. Right? They're gonna find it out. They're gonna cut it out, though, because
they'll get to the bottom. That's crazy because when you think like just the high end restaurants, you're already paying above the average cost for food, right? I mean, granted, it's worth it.
To me, it's somewhat controversial because I know sometimes when you go to Carbone, right, you got to make that reservation in advance. Sometimes you got to put that deposit down. Yeah, you have to put the $50 deposit down. It
depends on your party side.
If you do it through Resi, I think it's like if you do it through Resi, right, I think you have to put the $50 deposit down on the CC and then use that same credit card to pay it out. If I'm not mistaken, it's on an account or a profile. If I'm not mistaken, drop in the comments your experience with Carbone. Have they made you pay the $50 deposit though? I heard it depends on where you go. We've only been to the one in Dallas. But there's one in New York, Miami, etc. Right? So let us know if where you go. Do you pay the deposit? And
would you pay for a reservation?
How much?
What's your price? Like
how much?
Yeah, because I'm like, how much is he? How many reservations are they?
Well, they say he paid like $300 to $500 a pop.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's easy money though.
That's easy for him, but that's just to think like, oh, I need that reservation tonight. I'm gonna pay an extra three plus, right? Just so I can get in there tonight. That's crazy.
If you got it, ain't tricking. If you got it though, you feel me? Hey, salute to everybody who got it. Salute to everybody with it. So moving right along, right? That's kind of it on that, huh?
That's pretty much it on the hot topics. But my favorite part is coming up.
Okay, your favorite part of the show, which is Would You Rather? So jumping right in.
You want to go first? You want me to go?
I'll ask you the first one.
Okay.
I think it's on your speed.
Okay.
So in terms of you being a huge shrimp fan, right? Damn, Red Lobster went out. That's crazy as hell. But hey, but so would you prefer a shrimp cocktail or a shrimp ceviche?
That's a toughie. I guess I'm gonna have to go with the ceviche. I'm gonna go with ceviche. I do like that the shrimp cocktail is just, plain and simple. It's just shrimp, right? It's just straight up and down. But I like that on a ceviche, you can control the flavor, right? You can add a little bit of heat. You can throw in some avocado in there if you'd like. So I think it's a little bit more versatile. Right? And then you can throw it on a little tostada, a little chip or something. You can eat it more ways, though, right? You can do the chip and dip. You could do the little tostada, the cheddar, whatever It's definitely more versatile.
Spice it up, though. I salute that. I salute that. You got another one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, in light of Red Lobster, right? Just with the lobster on the menu, would you rather a Maine lobster roll or a Connecticut lobster roll? And for those of you at home who may or may not know the difference, right? The Maine lobster roll, the meat is chilled and it's dressed with mayo and usually topped with something crunchy like celery, chives, scallions, something of those sorts, right? The Connecticut lobster roll is dipped in butter and served on a toasted bun.
Right, that's my speed though. The Connecticut though.
The Connecticut,
top, though. I like
with
the toasted
butter?
bun with the butter though. It's dipped though. It's flint though, and it's ready to roll though. Shout out to a Connecticut lobster roll. I haven't had one in a minute.
Yeah.
I like the Maine one. It's cool, but I always talk about I don't like the little cold cut type feel of it. Right, I like it with like at least the bread hot, something hot. They put a little cheese on there though. It takes it to the next level though. So shout out to Connecticut. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in Connecticut who making a lobster roll correct. Though y'all toasting that bun, y'all putting that butter on there, and y'all making it do what it do, baby.
All right.
So I got one for you though.
Okay.
You feel me? So you could say, I guess you could say you a dessert connoisseur. I don't know if you really are, but you make good desserts, right? I can vouch for that. Plenty of people can. Though.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So talk to us though. Apple pie or peach cobbler?
Oh, that's tough. That's a good one. They're so similar, but man,
and they like seeds though off the season.
Well, that's a great question because they're both in season now, right? So you'll be seeing a lot more of those on the menus. That's tough. There's just like so many ways to make apple pie and so many ways to make a peach cobbler though. I'm gonna go something about like just how soft the peaches are when you get the peach cobbler. I'm probably gonna have to say peach cobbler though.
I respect that.
Like there's nothing wrong with that little bit of crunch that's still left in the apples, but sometimes if it's just soft, it's ooey gooey, you get a little a la mode. I think the peach cobbler is the way to go.
And I respect that though, you know what I mean? I respect that wholeheartedly. You know, I would do either one though, because when I was young though, the little Dutch apple pie, little Dutch apple pie was my thing, a la mode. See? And then as I matured, right, like the young goatee I am, right? The peach cobbler was my thing. Though you get that crust mixed in there, you a la mode that little whipped cream. Yeah. It's off the change though. So it's really just depending on the time of day. But like you said, right, you don't want them apples too crispy though. Right. Because sometimes they be in there and like, they a little ripe though. I want to set this back, but I'm cool though. The peaches. Yeah. Peaches melt in the mouth though. What my man say? Like his peaches out in Georgia, baby. Shout to man though. You know what I mean? Wherever he get his peaches from, wherever they at. Yeah. And that's it though. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna drag it on though. That wraps up our world famous game of Would You Rather. And this is What's Cooking with Fanny Boo, episode 18. I'm Chef C with 2 E's and the place to be. This is Chef
Fanny.
And we are out.
All right. Peace. Love. Positivity.